Hey guys, this is Mark Bernan here with Investigators in Cars, and just wanted to tell you about a little trip we took this past week. We went out to the Midwest to just do some skiing, visit with some family, and we decided to take our firearm. I decided to take my firearm with us since we would be up in a rural area with, we didn't know what was out there, so decided to do something I haven't done in a couple of years, which is to take my sidearm with me here. This is a Glock 19. Normal, it's not too customized. I've got some nice sights on it here, but it is empty for purposes of demonstration here today. I don't know if you can see that. The magazines have been removed. Nothing, of course, inside the chamber, but for purposes of demonstration. The other item that I have here with us is, of course, a Pelican 1200 case. I like this one very much myself. It has features in it where you can remove. You can do a cutout here, place your firearm in here, it'll be secure, take the magazines out as well. Now, before traveling with a firearm, it's very important to know what the airlines are expecting and what they require. And that is in this document right here. This is a special items baggage shooting equipment from Delta Airlines, printed up the day before we left. With specific directions on how to carry your firearm with you when you travel with the specific airline. Every airline has a page like this. I encourage you to do some research. I printed it up, read it carefully, and then followed the directions exactly as they say. I have a hard-sided case which I've had for a number of years. I have empty magazines. I have an unloaded firearm. And I have a box which carries the ammunition in it. Now, this one's empty because I'm home, of course, but inside this particular Federal is what I particularly carry for self-carry myself. I place the empty the 15-round magazines into this box right here, and then I went into the extra effort of taping it up before I got on the airline. Not necessarily required, but it does have to be in a cardboard box separate from the firearm itself. So once I have the unloaded firearm, I can simply place that in here. This came with another firearm that I use, but allows the airline check-in agent to know that the firearm is in fact unloaded. And I place that right here, and you'll see that the little red tip is right there. The slide is back about 1/4 of an inch here, just letting them know that it is empty. I then place the unloaded magazines in the fancy cutouts here, so that the agent can see that as well. And I place the box with ammunition inside the hard pack container. Now, I also have 3 locks. These are available at any commercial place, Home Depot, or anywhere else you'd like to go. I have 3 locks, not just 2. The Pelican case has capacity for 2 locks, and I'll demonstrate the 3rd lock in a moment. But when I go to the airport, I have 3 locks inside the box, inside the container. I also load up the Delta instructions inside the container as well, just so the clerk, when I get there, the agent knows that I've done my homework. I then close up the container and I then place it in my suitcase, which I will demonstrate for you right here. I'll place that in there. I will then zip up the suitcase, and now I'm prepared to go to the airport. Now, once we're at the airport, what I want to do next is I want to show them, I'll check in, you cannot use the sky cap here. You have to declare the firearm, that you're carrying a firearm in your luggage. So as I approach the counter, when my turn comes up, or I'll even notify a clerk if I see one standing nearby, I'll notify the agent that I am traveling with a firearm, and they know exactly what to do at that time. They'll either take me to a special counter or they'll deal with me right at the moment. But there are a number of things that they will have and prepare for. So they will ask first to weigh the suitcase itself so they know what the weight is. They'll then take the suitcase off and hand it back to me and ask me to remove the container with the unloaded firearm. So I will then do so. I'll open it up, place it back on the counter here as we were looking at before. Hope I'm in line here like this. And then I will then open up the case and allow them to inspect the firearm. Now, I've honestly done this numerous times here. I've never had an agent pull the firearm out. They just want to know that it's unloaded. So I'll then remove the locks. I will demonstrate that the firearm is unloaded. I will show them the magazines if they like to see it. I love these mag pulls because they've got the orange mechanism there to show that it's empty. I'll let them see that the ammunition is contained in another cardboard container. I'm going to set these locks aside for the moment, and then they will hand me a form to fill out. And this is an unloaded firearm declaration, orange in color. Every airline is the same way. And this has to be completed on the back with my signature and the date. So it's my signature and the date. The agent signs it as well. And once he or she is determined that the firearm is unloaded, I've met the requirements here, I'm going to close this. I'll set this down for the moment. I'm going to close this, and then I'm going to lock the container with these two locks right here. Let's see if I can do it. Hello. Is it going to lock for me or not? I think I have to undo it here. Bear with me for 1 second. And how am I doing this here? Well, time is moving on here. Here we go. There we go. And then I'm going to lock the container up. Secure it in that fashion right here. Lock them right here. I keep the same color on the box, a different color for the suitcase itself. And now it is now secured. I'm going to take this card, this Pelican container. I will have this with me, and I will note the name of the agent that I spoke with and the time that I spoke with him or her. Note the time and date of travel. I'll then take this item right here, and I'm going to place them, once again, down into the suitcase. And I'll move this over here. Once I have placed it once again in the suitcase, and then I will then take the firearm unloaded declaration and I will place that right here on top or adjacent to the suitcase. I don't know if you can see it down there, but it's right adjacent to it. I will then zip up the suitcase, and then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this third lock. I'm going to take this third lock and I'm going to use it to, see if I can do it here. A little tabby broke. I'm going to secure the firearm. I'm going to secure the suitcase, I think, just like that. I'm going to secure the suitcase, place that lock on it right there, and voila. Yeah, the suitcase is now secured. The firearm is secured inside the suitcase, and it is ready to be taken into the custody of TSA. Now, depending on the airline that you're traveling with, an agent from TSA or a baggage individual from the airline will take you with the suitcase to the TSA check-in. TSA will then examine the suitcase, run it through their x-ray machine, and confirm that you do have a firearm and that the firearm declaration tag, this is the second one, is inside, adjacent to, or nearby the locked container. Then the TSA agent, let's see if I can do this here. The luggage clerk will then secure this wrap around it right here. This will go. This is in addition to the normal tag that they use for baggage claim. This is a special one here that indicates that the suitcase should not be placed on the carousel at the destination you're traveling to. Once you pack this up here, this little bad boy will then be taken by the baggage clerk. Once it's approved by TSA, this tag has been placed onto it. It'll be taken to either accompany the bag, or they'll tell you it's fine. And then it's checked in, hand delivered over to the people who load the plane, and you're done with it. Now, once you arrive at your destination, you'll not be able, let me bring it up here. Once you arrive at the destination, you're not going to be able to get the bag yourself. You're not going to pull it off the carousel. You're going to have to go to the baggage office, baggage claim office, where it will be set aside. Once you present your identification and the tickets, the claim check for the suitcase itself, they'll then ask you for your identification, and they will turn your bag over to you. Now, I don't show this on here, but the last times we traveled here, there was a big stretch tied around it here that secured the suitcase. And of course, once you're done, once you get back, you can then unload your suit. You can unlock it. I can do this here without too much grief. And unlock it. Once you arrive at your destination, come on, there we go. Come to Papa. This is what you do when you and your firearm. will be safe and secured and back in your possession. And once you've arrived at your destination, of course, you can, in a convenient location, you can then unload your firearm, or unpack your firearm here, get it loaded, and carry it on your person. Now, please do me a favor. Please make sure that you're abiding by every law that you possibly can. You do not want to get into trouble with the TSA, with the federal government. You do not want to pack this in your carry-on luggage. You want to make sure that you have followed all of the directions on the handy printout here that the airline has been so kind as to provide you with. You want to make sure that you're abiding by every facet of it, every instruction that they give. The instructions are not hard. And frankly, we have found the airline agents to be extremely helpful. They are as nervous as anybody because, number one, they're usually not used to firearms, but they get presented with them every now and then, and you have to be calm yourself, and they are very, very professional. So anyway, there's your firearm at your destination. Here is your ammunition. I encourage you to make sure that your concealed carry permit is up to date. Know where you're traveling, that there is reciprocity between the states for you to have a firearm in your possession. Do not carry this to a state which has really terrible Second Amendment laws. Don't take it to New York. Don't take it to Boston. Actually, I'm not sure why you're going there. Every now and then we do. But when I have a chance to go to a state which does recognize my home state's concealed carry permit, I take the few extra minutes to do it. Now, 10-15 minutes tops is all that you'll need. They're very thorough, they're very quick, they got a lot of people in front of you, a lot of people behind you, and they want to get you on your way just as badly as you want to get through security. So be careful, be thoughtful, be well prepared, have one of these available. Make sure that this is in the suitcase alongside of your locked carry-on, of your locked hard side container, and you should be able to take this firearm any place it is lawful to do so. Anyway, I hope that's helpful. I had a great chance to be out west, visit the kids, grow a beard, so we'll see what happens here. But thanks for joining us here on Investigators in Cars. Talk to you soon.